into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Well, good afternoon, all of you Selamites, and welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin' Days. It's our post-Thanksgiving show, and yes, we were not going to leave you hanging. Even though it was a short week, we still wanted to give you a full recap of your favorite soap opera days of our lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I am also joined by my wonderful co-host. We have, to my far left, the guy whose hair is longer than this week's episodes.
The Mark J Freeman in the house.
And of course, we have my Quiet Storm chocolate twin.
James Lott Jr.
Is that mine?
No, that's me.
Okay.
All right. So thank you guys for joining us. For those of you who are watching us live while you finish nobbling on those Thanksgiving leftovers, thank you for joining us. And hey, while you're at it, make sure you like and subscribe to AfterBuzz TV. Also, make sure you like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Dishin' Days. We are only about 10 people away from 1,000 on Instagram.
I did post on my Facebook page too. Make sure you like our Instagram.
Yeah, please do, and also keep tweeting all of your favorite Days of Our Lives stars. Hopefully, one day they will pop through here. And
did you see my tweet to Rob today?
No.
We were outside, and I took a picture of the car wash, and I was like, thinking of you. When are you coming to join us?
That's so funny.
Rob uses the car wash
near our studio,
right next to our studio.
He was like, I didn't realize it was so close. I was like,
yeah. You could. He could leave his car and come talk with us.
Exactly. Well, listen, as long as he don't come in here and set anything on fire, steal somebody's baby, we're all good. So before we get started,
yes, take it away, James. We're in the season. We're ending up with this holiday of Thanksgiving, and I like to always give thanks and gratitude. And I want to give thanks and gratitude to my co-hosts, Mark J Freeman and Tony Moore, of course, for the show.
Does that come with a gift?
As Tony would say it, you tried it.
Your thanks are enough.
Thank you. I'm like, he tried it. But in all seriousness, I want to thank you guys, of course, for the show. We love doing the show. And also, you guys out there, thank you so much, because you guys tweet us, you write us, you yell at us, you share things, you do everything for us. And we know that without you guys, we're talking to ourselves every week. And so we really do appreciate and give thanks to you guys for all the encouragement and support. And like you said, tweeting our stars. You guys are really tweeting Kristen Alfonso. I hope she does get us at some point. But we really appreciate it, and we know that we don't want to get that unnoticed. It does get noticed.
What else are you thankful for, James Lott Jr.?
I'm thankful to wake up every day and do what I like doing. And do what I like doing. Yeah. I had jobs that I hated doing what I used to do. I changed my life at age 47 years ago, and this month it's my anniversary of my company, Super Organizer. It's my anniversary of buying a home. So I have a lot of things this month I'm really thankful for coming up, and I just love it.
Mark, what are you thankful for?
You didn't tell me yet. We're going to have to list off things we're thankful for.
Well, listen, I didn't know that too.
I'm thankful for reading glasses.
Yes.
Never realized how much I was missing out on the world.
And now just think you can see Billy Flynn in 20/20 vision.
Trust me.
Ooh, it gets better for you.
I got it. I'm watching you, William. I am thankful for, of course, my loving husband and my two adorable dogs, Winston Montgomery and Baxter Alexander. Aww. And like you said, I'm happy to be here. We haven't been doing this a year yet, right?
No,
it's
not
February,
yet.
right?
February will be a year.
So yeah, I'm at the same place where I'm kind of like, I'm feel like I've hit my groove in my sororities. My 20s are a blur, so I assume they went fantastic and swimmingly. I knew I was wearing a dress a lot of that time. So
that you were.
Have at it. Google Lorraine Love.
What are you thankful for, Tony Moore?
There's so many things. First, I'm thankful to Chandler Massey for letting us hold
Amen to that.
It's beautiful.
I'm thankful for our fans who have helped us get Dish and Days to where it was. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but
started it.
But like I realized one day that I love this show, and I did recaps here all the time, and I didn't think of ever doing a Days of Our Lives recap. And then I was like, well, let's see what happens. And I couldn't have imagined like the things that have happened so far, and the fun that we have. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for my mom and my dad and my sister and my niece, and my friends, my real friends. And
Okay, I'm like, that's a real one right there.
And I'm thankful for the opportunities and experiences that I've had thus far in my 32 young years of life.
I could be your father. Crazy.
I can't.
I know. But it's funny, you did. I don't know people know this. You brought Dish and Days to the network, or it's Days of Lives After Show, whatever it was called back then.
Yeah,
you brought it to the network.
Yeah, I did. I did. But that makes it sound like I'm so.
Well, this is the truth. You brought it to the network.
But
I'm not a regular cast. I came later. I'm a recast.
Well, you know what?
So was Billy Flynn.
And you know
That's
what?
for you, Billy.
I'm going to give a little shout out. I'm also thankful to Peter.
Oh, okay.
Because if it were not for him, we wouldn't have the name of the show called
That's
Dish
true.
and Days.
That's right.
That is very
Yes,
true.
that's very true.
And
That's very true.
and a lot of the social media stuff he did originally
Yes, he did.
start. So I'm thankful for what he brought to our show.
Yeah.
So shout out to Peter.
Yes.
I love Cheryl wrote, but I'm thankful for me, Mark, hair product, reading glasses, and Billy Flynn.
That's good.
Cheryl!
That's good. Yeah, so it's good. This is a great
so
show.
there we go.
And
So
I read that
we're
without my
very
reading
thankful.
glasses.
Yeah, he did. So we are very thankful, and we're thankful that this week we had at least 3 episodes
Yes.
to come in and recap.
Yes.
So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between, it is now time to start
Dish and Days.
Why do I have a feeling that was a reference to
I like
me?
the in between. I love it. Undecided.
I think I'm in between.
So we're going to start off, of course. We have to continue with Bo's death.
That required a collective sigh.
Yeah, it did.
I took a sip.
Okay, can I go ahead? No, go ahead. You start it out.
You go, please.
Well, I'm just gonna say, no, I need to save this for later. I'm gonna save it for later because it has to do with the email and stuff. So I'll save it for later.
Yeah, it's just the thing is, I did cry. I will say this. I decided to go in. I decided as a viewer, on the Devils, I decided to go in and go with it, and it was sad. It was really sad. And when Steve and them came,
I thought the Steve and Bo was more touching for
In a
me
way, yeah,
personally
me too, in a way.
than the Bo and
because that was so
and
rushed.
Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because actually, think about it. We had more screen time with Steve and Bo.
We
than
did.
Bo and Hope.
Totally
Bo and
did.
Hope, yeah.
Totally did.
Yeah.
It's kinda, I noticed that when I was thinking, wait a minute.
My microphone.
So I was like, wait a minute. So for me, I did go in, I did get teary-eyed, and I kind of cried. And when they told Caroline, and when she went to Victor, I did get
That was a tough one too.
Yeah.
That was a tough one.
Well, when Steve went to Victor, or when Victor came into the pub.
When Victor came into the pub,
Caroline
When Victor
lost
came in-
it.
yeah.
She
At
completely
first, I was
lost
like,
it.
she's not crying crazy. It's like she's like getting up. She was like, oh my god. But when he came in,
I think it became real for her then.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
he walked in, it became real. Yeah.
It became our child.
Yeah.
I think it brought back the memories of her time with Victor as well.
Yeah.
and people are really online. I see people are really getting mad at this Sierra person. I mean, she's getting mad at her and like saying all stuff. I think she's acting the way she's supposed to act. I think of that age.
What is her issue? That she's not responding properly?
Yeah, I guess it's like she
First of all, people respond to
death
and those kind of things differently.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Period.
This is
So.
true.
The same with Sean Douglas, everybody, all that. So, and some of the people found out off camera. We found out, like generally, found there was no scenes for them.
Yeah.
It still felt a little rushed. Like everything was kind of happening, really fast. And it was Thanksgiving. It was. I wrote down my notes jarring a little bit. It was like that one. It was like, okay, now it's Thanksgiving. There's an empty chair. Like it's happening so fast.
Yeah. Well, I feel horrible for the character of Hope because I feel like this is too. I feel like it's too much for a character to have to deal with. To have to deal with the fact that, she went, again, part rant, she went through this whole process of getting over Beau and being okay to move on and open herself to a very wonderful relationship, and then to have that relationship pretty much go down the drain to the point where he not only tried to kill her but ended up dead, and then to have the love of her life return to her for a split second and then to lose him. Like, I kept looking at Hope and thinking, like, any second you are going to have a mental breakdown.
Right.
And I thought that was happening when she locked herself in the room.
Yeah.
And she had, and I don't know if you guys thought this, but I'm like, this kind of sums up the past few weeks for Hope. Not only is this the bed that you made love to the person who tried to kill you, but now this is also the room and bed that you shared with the love that you just lost. Like, sell it and move.
It's so funny because I actually wrote down in my notes to mention that, because Sierra even makes a comment that she needs out of the house. She doesn't want to be there anymore. And please burn the rug.
Yeah, no.
Okay? It's driving me freaking.
That's what Chase was trying to do earlier this week, wasn't he? He was trying to burn it.
I'm just saying, like, it's so completely asinine. That was for you.
Thank you.
That that the bloody rug is still in the house.
I agree.
Like, that's just completely asinine.
I agree.
I'm going to go on a little rant because I get that there's a formula, that daytime's got its thing, you know, this is over the top, this is that.
Right.
You can still do those kind of things and be intelligent about it. And, you know, it's like, you know, because like the sitcom's got its formula for what supposedly works in Hollywood. Yet, which are the shows, the sitcoms that are doing the best now? Modern Family, all these other things that are doing something completely different than that normal formula.
Right.
So Days, wake up. Maybe try to do something outside of the box. Treat your viewers like people that have a brain and understand that a normal person would have thrown that rug out.
Yeah.
Like, you can still have moments. You can have him thinking about it. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many ways to go about it than leaving a bloody rug in the house, which would never happen.
Well, I just don't know if me personally, I would feel comfortable living in the house anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's what I was going to say is, do we think she's going to move?
It doesn't look like it.
No.
It doesn't look. I mean, they just brought the house back, if you really think about it.
Well, they brought it back to destroy it.
Right.
I mean, it's amazing she still has furniture in there.
Yeah. I'm just amazed at how she's handling things. Like, I would think that by now she would. And now this whole thing of, like, Ghost Beau. Well, I knew they were going to do Ghost Beau.
See, I didn't know they were going to do it.
Well, here's the deal, because there's many things. You bring up a good point. For me, she is having a breakdown. Because her breakdown is she's seeing Beau.
That's what he has said.
I don't know. So he did say, but I just know that to me, it was like, that's not the Beau. Everybody's like, Beau wouldn't want to do that. Well, it's true. She's not seeing Beau.
And actually, Peter Reckle tweeted that too. Like, I think someone tweeted him.
Okay.
And I don't know the exact wording, but basically, like, Hope is acting on, like, some other feeling. And Peter Reckle went, yep.
That's what he wrote. That's so funny.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. So that's funny. So she's having a breakdown. She's seeing Beau, and now want to go after the captors.
Yeah.
Of people who held him captive, which kind of makes sense on some level. She would go.
Again, though, it was just a complete 180.
It makes sense
from, I don't know.
It makes sense to me in the sense that, like, what he just listed, everything she went through, there's no rhyme or reason.
Right.
Right now, and remember, Hope has gone on adventures before. The people are out there forgetting Hope is a person who's done adventures. Yeah,
but I think this one she needs to go on the adventure of rediscovering Hope.
Well, I agree with that too. But I think right now, her acting out, like right now, she feels no control. She just lost both her men.
Well,
in what, 2 days, 3 days? I mean, like, she has no control.
Well, yeah.
So she should be irrational, I think, a little bit. If she wasn't irrational, I think it'd be kind of weird. I think.
Should we discuss the Ken Corday article at this moment?
Yes, let's do that.
Because I think it is relevant.
It is.
It's very relevant.
And one of the things you sent it to us, so we read it before we came in.
And it's featured in this Soap Opera Digest.
Yeah, so right?
The next one coming up.
The next one is coming up.
Which I love that they did an article about the article.
Yes.
Why don't you just wait for the article to come out? But whatever, gave us something to talk about today. So what I was going to say was, in that article, we talked a little bit about this before we came on. Ken Corday says that they had to do it. It was a decision that they made because there was no way to have Hope move on and Bo still be alive is impossible. Yet
they did it for the past 3 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is exactly what we were saying. It's like, you can't say that it's impossible.
Yeah.
Because people moved on. People were all Team Hayden.
Yeah.
Life went on without Bo.
Without Bo.
Right.
You know, it adds... So don't say that you had no other choice to do that.
Yeah.
Because you clearly have another choice to do that. I'm not saying I'm upset about it, because I could really care less. Because one way or another, he's not on screen. Right. So I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I know it's a character. My life will go on.
Yeah.
Was that a soap opera? My life will go on. But I'm just saying, I thought his article was completely irrelevant.
And also another thing that they pointed out was that they were not going to recast Bo.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And
sorry, Robert Kelker Kelly.
Right. And I get it, but I just feel like what ended up happening was that they tied. We didn't hear about Bo.
Right.
Like we were fine. He's off gallivanting or whatever, and then all of a sudden he was really on this mission to bring the
veterans back.
Yes.
Well, the medicine
for
or whatever for Caroline.
Yeah.
And then he got roped back in to make us wonder. Okay, now, what's happened to Bo? Mm-hmm. And then now we see what happened to him, and then. I felt like we would have been just fine with him just being away. And not even really mentioning him, maybe phone calls or letters or something every blue moon, for Sierra's sake. But maybe when Peter Reckle was ready to kind of open that door again and come back, to then give some sort of wrap up to Bo. But maybe even make the character just realize, okay, she's moved on. Maybe he's moved on. You know, something to where it's like you don't have to kill him off
in order
to
Billy.
Well, there you go. I mean,
that could have been something.
Yeah, actually, it could have been. Chris Allen's Billy.
No,
that's not purpose. He did it on purpose.
You know, I mean, I feel like there could have been other ways to kind of.
I agree. Because we had moved on. People they were Rafe Hope supporters. They were hating him. She clearly had moved on. Yeah. Now, I will say...
Cindy J, I was not on this week.
Oh, so you weren't on. I think you said you might be. You weren't sure.
You did say that.
You said you weren't sure. I will say Caroline gets me... Peggy McKay gets me every time. Her little speech at Thanksgiving, I did get a little teary-eyed.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, it was good.
I think I'm just jaded.
Maybe you are. Well, here's the thing. I mean,
Lucas got me out.
Because also the fans out there talk about this all the time. Where some of them they tell us we're not gonna watch it anymore. We get angry on stuff. I mean, I try to stay because I love the show Days of Our Lives and the company of Days of Our Lives. I try to remember there are many storylines. Mm-hmm. I try, of course, if hopefully I'm like bye. No, but I'm trying to really trying to stay in it and trying to see and go with it a little bit and try to buy into some of it. I won't buy into all of it, but I try to. And so I guess maybe that's why I'm affected some a little bit because I'm like, okay, I mean, I do. Whenever they hang the Horton Christmas ornaments, I get teary-eyed. I mean, there's certain things I kind of like certain things. And Caroline giving a speech always. Caroline or Julie both whenever they give speeches. Mm-hmm. They are rooted in kind of Days history. It's kind of, and the empty chair was kind of touching a little bit. It was just jarring at first.
See, I thought that was the most asinine. Sorry, it's hashtag asinine today.
Yes, apparently.
That was the most asinine thing. That Martha Madison had to sit at the kiddie table, and there was a place.
That was bad.
But
that's
it was
just. Well, come on.
But
you guys promise me if I die, don't set a place for me at any freaking table. That's just dumb.
It went with her speech.
It just was dumb.
And then Hope scooted the chair closer to her, and
that nobody was in it. FYI,
Bo was.
But I will say, Martha looked beautiful. We love you, Martha. She looked beautiful when she came on. And the girl who plays her daughter looks just like her.
Yeah. Just like
They're
her.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's beautiful blonde.
Martha said she would come join us.
Yeah, she did say that.
Me. She tweeted me back.
She did. We love Martha.
Listen, we all know that there are people who are willing to join us, but we also know why no one can join us just yet.
Okay. Just put it out there. I just want people to think that we're not trying.
Yeah, we are trying.
Okay, so let's settle this.
Yes.
Okay, fans.
Okay, fans.
There are many people who are willing to be on this show. However, we are on
we're on lockdown.
We have to wait just for Tish. And that's all I'm gonna say. But people are willing to come on.
They are willing to come on.
Yes. So
I do need a timeout.
And you need a timeout. I thought, them coming back, it was great to see them, of course. We'll talk about that a little later, but I just think that I like the speech, but it was a little jarring.
Oh.
Yes.
Were you done?
I'm done.
Sorry.
Yes.
When did Steve and Kayla know that was Bo's oak tree?
I think they assumed. They saw that it was right next to them. It was right there. I'm dead serious.
Maybe something happened off camera to where Bo explained that he was going to buy a tree and plant it.
But they were they were right, not far from it. There was a hole.
I don't buy that.
Okay.
That I would halfway buy. I was like watching them. I was like, how do they even know that that's his tree and we're going to replant it?
I got it.
Whatever they do, you just have to assume that whatever information they got received off camera. You know why? Because they ain't got time.
They sure do.
To explain everything. They got folks to kill.
I think that's why I liked soaps when I was young, because I was a sucker.
Well, no, people back then, they went too long. Remember? Everybody's complaining how slow they went.
Oh, my God.
Young and the Restless was known for that.
Storylines went on forever. I was like...
Remember Marlena blocked in that room where Kristen went on for like months?
Oh my, so long. I'm like, nobody does anyone not understand that she gone?
Jason Cook's last air date is December 2nd.
Oh, this week?
I don't know. I didn't see an official end date, but I
just wrote it in the chat room.
But I know that it's gonna. His time
Philip
is ending.
comes on December 10th.
Yeah, well, his time is ending, and Brandon Beamer will be on soon. So we know that much. So, moving on to killing people.
Yes.
Yes. Well, Chad remembered that what happened in the apartment. He went into I like to call it the red and green room.
Yes,
now.
that's basically what it is.
Through his secret passageway.
And it all kind of came, which I actually kind of liked that they did that. That he was back in the room and the things started coming back to him. Yeah. I don't know what Chad thought was in that purse that would give away where.
Oh, yes.
I was messaged him like, girl, what was in that purse that you thought was going to give you a clue to where Abigail went?
I don't know what Chad thought there would be something in the apartment that would give away to where.
Well, that I could buy. There may be something like a ticket or a stub or something like that. I could halfway buy that. Yeah. But I like that he kind of had to come back, and he kind of, and then he ran to Rafe and was like, dude, okay.
I wanted to say, please stop running to Rafe, because Rafe is not trying to hear nothing you are saying. Nothing at all. Nothing. Nothing.
But Rafe does give him glimmers of hope sometimes. He kind of believes him a little bit.
He does. Yeah. He's just, okay.
Okay, do it.
I feel like Rafe does believe what Chad is saying, however, he doesn't want to, truly show him okay, I believe you, and jump the gun. He's just kind of processing everything and being like, and that's
like
why
a true Salem PD.
Yes, well, that's why.
And let somebody else solve the case.
Well, that's why. What I did like was when we got a glimmer of hope that Rafe, or reassurance that Rafe does believe Chad when he finally put the APB out on Ben. So that's when I was like, okay, he finally believes everything. And then also Rafe's conversation with Justin and saying listen, we think Ben is blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And it was nice to finally see Justin calm his
that's why I was like, I was going to say that. I was it's so nice that he's calmed down a little bit. He's not.
Well, now that he's getting some good loving from me, he's all right now. Yeah. So that was a nice moment. But I'm glad that Chad finally remembered, because that was a key piece of something that he needed to remember. Yeah.
And meanwhile, in the cabin.
Oh my God.
Okay, so
a 13-pound premature baby was born.
I'm like, when they showed that head, I was like, okay, even my baby's worth that big.
Here's the thing. And I will let this go, because we all know that there's no way you're going to have an actual premature baby on set. So I kind of have to let that go.
Come on, Cassie, you could find a smaller baby.
it's hard to find that small. I mean, come on.
It's L.A.
They're not all as petite as.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, also, I want to say, like, a fan commented on what we said after the some comments that we made about the pregnancy and the pains that Abigail was in and everything. I just want to go on record by saying, listen, no, I've never been pregnant. No, I haven't experienced it. However,
Wait, what was their issue?
Someone didn't like they said they didn't like the comments that were made about her. It's women go through pregnancy really hard. Go through pregnancy.
Now listen,
but what did we say that initiated that?
I don't know something.
I understand that being pregnant and having those pains have got to be excruciating. The way that people make it look on TV, the screams that I've heard.
I thought Abby did a great job.
Yeah, no, but I think what they're saying is that like
we
the
made
comments,
light of it or something afterwards. That's what someone told me.
I think the comment that I remember making was like, oh my gosh, she dropped the phone when she had the pain. I'm like, and what I was thinking was, even though you're in excruciating pain, hold on tight to that phone.
like she did this week.
This week, she did this week.
Like grip it. Because I know that when pregnant women are in pain, they dig their, Abigail,
I wish I would have taken pictures of the nail.
Oh yeah.
Nails in my hand when my friend had her baby.
So that's all I was saying. Like, I'm not excusing the fact that she's in excruciating pain, seeing as how she had no epidural.
Thank you.
Didn't think I knew that word, did you?
Well, see, I went online and talked. I went online because I said I'm a former nurse, so I was like, I also have children, so I
don't remember any of this.
I remember. So I said, we're a show. We make light of all kinds of stuff, but it's more about some of it was unrealistic, and in this case, my thing was the way they had her sitting up. They should have had her laying down on the bed. I think all the comment was, because you said with the bed, with the baby, I would have took that. I would have tried to get out of there, chained to the bed, and all this. It was like those kind of comments.
Super mom.
Her mom. Yeah. So
that was the issue. I guess whatever, people.
But the thing is, we do know that it's hard for women. I could never be pregnant, first of all, so whatever. But I have seen pregnancies and stuff, and there were things that were. You try it? I wouldn't. No thanks. But I did. But I have seen on this show, some of the things were unrealistic. And I thought, it was rough for me to watch because I'm thinking, I know it's a soap, they can't do everything, but I've seen some realistic bursts on soaps too.
I thought it looked realistic. All I was, I'm not even going to explain myself because I don't feel like I need to.
Yes.
Alrighty. And then it was a boy, and which I hope they name it Mark.
And they were texting. People got upset because she texted Chad, not 911. Everybody's been saying that, even in the chat room now. Everybody's saying she should text 911. I can't believe that too. She could have did 911 first.
What I thought she should have done was just dial a number, regardless of what it was, so that the cell phone connected to somebody and they could hear and they could be like, okay, follow the trace, what's that? Because it would have saved her from having to. In
that case, it should have been 911.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then, if they heard nothing, they would have sent someone to that.
Okay,
but again, people, it's a soap. Like they can't play it out like that.
And Miss Sarah Palin, Nancy or Wendy, whatever her name is.
Wendy.
Whatever her name is.
Okay. No.
Go do it.
No. I'm gonna take this.
Okay, take it. Do it.
Because I think I messaged y'all right after I watched that.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Let me tell you, if I was little Miss Wendy, little midwife who had just made sure the baby was okay, and also realizing that this man is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, when he turned his back, I would have been out the door.
Why was she like, oh my god, like what was that?
And then he pulls out the gun, and then that's when she realized like, maybe I should have left. Trust me and believe me. As soon as and he was holding the baby, I would have did like this. I would have left all my stuff there.
Okay.
I would have been like Homer Simpson and just backed up out into the bush. Like the fact that she stayed and then she like walked out and then to hear the gunfire, I was like, really?
I know.
Like you had a chance to like run.
Yeah.
I know. I was only holes in the story. Yeah. I was just like.
I think everybody knew she was going to get killed.
Well, yeah, I think we all knew that. I'm like, what a shame.
Hey, I'm with Leah. I was like, run, Wendy, run, run, girl, run.
Preach, Tony.
Preach, Tony. They like Tony. Preach, Tony. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, had it been me,
bye.
I wouldn't.
I wonder if Wendy's going to come back and haunt him.
I would have. For me, if I were Wendy, I would have. Once I realized he was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, I would have said I wouldn't have made no more mention about the hospital. I would have made no mention about anything. I would have suddenly played dumb. Like, who are you? What's your name?
Right.
Oh, okay. And then when he was holding the baby, I would have said,
Yeah.
And,
Well,
like,
it's
walked
actually
out.
Abigail's fault. She introduced them before when.
But that was still smart, though.
She was all,
that was still smart.
I'm from 225.
That was still smart.
Yeah.
But
I was more upset about Wendy than Bo.
Me too. I was like, Wendy died, poor thing. Just delivered a baby.
and someone mentioned in the chat room that how rude when Ben took the baby and Abigail was like, "Can I please hold my baby?" And he was like, "Wait your turn."
We sure did.
I actually really
Like his
liked
performance.
Rob this week.
Me too.
When I went back and watched again, I actually gave him a quote of the week too, because when he was talking to Abigail, it was like, Scott out talking to Abigail, and Wendy's like, "Look, she has," she rattled off some medical thing, and he's like, "What's that?" and walked away and was peed myself. I was like, "Oh my god!"
He did great work.
I thought they're doing a great. I really think him
I like
and
Psycho.
Kate Mancy are doing.
They're doing good.
knocking
They're
it out of the
great.
ballpark.
They're doing. I think they're doing an amazing job.
I
with
think
it.
that they're really stepping their game up to Chad's level.
Anyway, so really quickly.
I mean, it's
yeah, we get it. So Rafe, Gabby, and Eduardo.
Oh yeah.
So first,
Eduardo
Hernandez.
So first of all, Rafe.
Yes.
Please stop being so upset that Gabby wants to get to know her,
He went off
her
on
father.
her. He's not like that.
Like, look, I feel like this. Everyone has their own relationships
Yes.
with their parents. And Gabby she's in a different place than Rafe. Because Gabby, as she mentioned, I'm getting a second chance. I've done bad stuff.
Yep.
You don't think I'm horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So stop going at it with this man who's trying. You have to look at him and say, okay, well, you're trying. So I'm going to just
Well, he
go
says
with
that.
you.
He said that this week. He was like, "Look, you need to stop. I'm trying."
Yeah.
Well, as a person who went through this in my real life, I told my younger half sister, I had told her, it's up to you. I said, I will. My brothers and I were like, we'll be over here if something goes down.
Yeah.
But you do have to, because she's an adult, just like
Yeah.
Gabriella's an adult.
Yeah.
You find out what's going on. I'm going to stand over here and not be involved. You do it, but we're here for you if something goes down. That's what Rafe should have done as a responsible older brother. Just kind of like, we'll be here.
Yeah.
I'll be over here. I don't trust him yet, but I'm over here. But you just be careful. I'm here to pick up the pieces if anything happens.
Yeah.
That's what I think you should do.
And I like that Eduardo is trying to trying to make amends with his family. Like he went to Eve and
Yes,
said
he
that he
did.
wanted to open the music program in Paige's
honor,
name.
yes.
Oh, I did like
also,
that too.
And also have it for her so that she can have something to do because music is what she loved and it can be in memory of Paige. And Paige enjoyed music as well. And of course Eve was just like, too little, too late. And I wanted to go, why'd you have to ruin a beautiful moment?
Yeah. I just, maybe because I like him the actor so much, Martinez so much, I'll believe anything he says. I'm just like, sure, I'll believe
Martinez.
you. Martinez. I'll believe anything he says. So for me, it's like, sure, okay. But I do get, like I said, someone who's gone through this kind of in real life, I kind of get where they're coming from and their trepidation. I get it on some level. They can't just be all wrapped up neatly in 2 days like the Bo and Hope storyline. No. So it's kind of I kind of get it in some level, but I do agree he should, as a big brother, just step back, let her figure it out. Eve should give let him put the money and do a scholarship thing in her honor for Paige. That was about music, and you do like music. Just I say you should do it. I think she should do it. But I understand the animosity. I do understand it. It's a tough situation. I totally get it. But I think it's fun. But I like A. Martinez. He's so good in every scene, and everybody work. They're all doing great work. Even Ray, even him being mad at him, it's believable.
Yeah.
Gabriella being enamored by him a little, like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And Cassie doing Cassie, of course. I think it's great.
Yeah. Well, and that was pretty much that storyline.
Yes, it was. And yes.
Mark?
And then off camera, Sammy escaped.
Yeah. I'm like, where'd she go?
I think I'm going to start making a off-camera list.
That's what you see
every week now. This is everything that happened off camera, and now we can talk about everything else.
Okay, so
I don't
Stefano
know.
had more lines this week.
Stefano
had more lines this week.
Stefano had a couple more. He had
is Allison Sweeney done?
I don't know.
Because another weird.
It sounded
and the weird texts that she was sending.
The whole
Marlena.
I'm safe, I won.
Right.
And good for her. She depleted the funds. She's off somewhere, living life like it's golden. However, comma.
I love that song.
I'm just confused. Once again, another character who was brought back.
Yes.
And wasted.
to do something.
Yes, I agree.
And now she's gone, and we're all like,
Other than her
mark?
cute outfit.
It was cute. Her hair was
she had a
cute
cute
too.
outfit.
Her hair was cute too.
Which outfit? The jeans and the
jeans
jacket
and the heels,
Oh, yeah,
and I
you
thought
know,
she
it was
looked
nice.
sassy and
You know,
cute.
very captive.
Yeah. I mean, at least she wasn't in a cocktail dress like most of them all the time.
But I do agree with you. It's like, again, you bring her back. You know, you have her for a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
And hers was less obvious because she has other things going on. But you limited amount of time. Why aren't you utilizing her to full Sammy potential? Like, I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's like, why did we see her escape?
Well, I think-
why did we see her go to John Marlena? I say in face, I won. I did it. It's all good. Now I'm going home to my kids or anything.
I'm sorry. I just thought of something. Because y'all know I love to rewrite days, right?
Oh, there you go. Okay, do it.
So, going back to Bo and Hope.
Yes.
You know what they could have done? Tell me if you would have believed this.
Okay.
If Bo came back, but it wasn't Peter Reckle, it was a recast.
Okay.
And maybe he had to do face reconstruction because they've done that before.
Yeah.
And we saw Hope fall in love once again, like re-fall in love with this new Bo.
Yeah.
Possibly. Wait, I mean,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Aiden could have been Bo.
Right. There you go. Done. Yeah, I go with it.
Aiden, maybe.
And that
Down
would
the
have
road it will
explained
be.
the
Yeah.
whole like plan about.
Have a drink. Have a drink.
Okay, so I'm done.
So with that story,
Also, hashtag my
Well,
king's son.
so with that storyline, which leads into this next thing we're gonna talk about anyway, it's just kind of like they're dropping that. So you're right. It was like, is it done? Are we done? Because now we're going on to Paul talking about John looking at it. You take a look at your past still, and
Yeah.
it's Eduardo Hernandez, his father. You know, so it's kind of like, so now we're connecting them together. So now we're done with Sammy and all that, but now we're going this way. It wasn't clear either, but it seems like that's where they're going.
Yeah, I'm glad Paul is still around,
Yeah, he showed up. I was like, wow.
but Paul needs some gay friends.
Well, I think that's on the horizon.
Gay friends.
I think Dario.
Ooh, I heard a rumor about Eric
Eric.
Brady. I heard there's some rumors out there that he's going to be like going that direction.
Oh.
That's what I heard.
Well, I
Can't
guess-
confirm and don't know, but I'm like,
Well, with all the drinking he's doing, I guess one drink a night won't hurt
Oh,
nobody.
and I was going to say something that's funny that you should say that because there was somebody tweeted something and there was an article about somebody that was ranting about Days of Our Lives, and a lot of it was nonsense in my opinion. And this was one of the things that he had an issue with everybody going drinking, like Eric and Steve
yeah.
and all these people like going and drinking when something happens, and that's pretty normal.
Right.
I mean,
For
just
some
in my
people.
house, I don't.
For some people,
But
yeah.
like, this person was very like upset that they were doing that, and I was just like, well, I mean, I just.
well, you get upset, you drink. I've had deaths. I went drinking. I mean, you went drinking. Some people go a little overboard, obviously,
I don't
but
know. I feel like sometimes the whole AA thing is a little crazy on days sometimes. You know what I mean? It's
They
like
have a bunch of them,
they
a
have
bunch
two
of them.
drinks and Maggie's like, hey now,
Well,
come
if
to a
the-
meeting with
well,
me.
if
You know what I
they're-
mean? It's like, okay, there's a big difference.
I think that comes into play when they're a recovering alcoholic.
But that's not always. I feel like it's always kind of like a thing that they like to go to.
you know, drinking is a gateway drug,
Whatever.
which
I love drinking. I don't care.
it explains a lot.
Yes, I get that.
Oh,
that's
and since we're talking about John and Marlena
Yeah.
and this whole thing, can we all talk about
Program dress.
that Marlena was dressed like a pilgrim?
It was Thanksgiving. It was
It was
Thanksgiving.
literally, as soon as it cut to her, I
Everybody,
literally
yeah.
went, she looks like a pilgrim.
It was Thanksgiving.
I actually tweeted it,
Yeah,
and I
everybody was like-
tagged the costume girl, and she
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah, but people were all talking about it like she's like a pilgrim.
I was like,
It was
love it.
Thanksgiving.
I want to know if that was intentional.
I love me some Deidre Hall, but yeah, it was kind of nice. I mean, it was weird too. Kind of like just the two sons came, no family. I mean, Paul has no family other than that. Like, where's his mother? Where's Hera? Where's his mother? And then he didn't bring Teresa. Teresa was MIA. That was so weird. He kept mentioning her, and she was MIA the whole week.
Yeah.
They kept saying, "Where's Teresa? Well, she sent me a text. She's over here." Like, I mean, she said something to Eve. Like, she was not on at all.
Teresa
Yeah.
was nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found.
Side note: someone just mentioned Finn, who is the
Possibly
the,
gay.
the doctor.
Yeah.
We don't know about him, so
Okay.
maybe he could be. But I don't know. They were trying to fix it up to where him and he's not gay because he hit on Nicole.
Well,
Then again,
but then so did
that
Paul.
shit.
Paul did
Yeah.
it.
But Paul was hitting on everybody. There's a difference.
Yes.
You can tell the different hitting on people.
That's true.
So Finn is not gay.
I want to see Finn and Nicole actually, since we know Daniel's going.
Damn.
You know he's going, so it's already been in the
Waiting
papers.
for that day.
They're waiting. So
Oh,
I
boy.
like to see
like-
Finn with Nicole.
I think it's going to be a Valentine's Day death.
Ooh.
Because that's when they're supposed to be getting married.
Ew.
Ew.
So, now, Days of Our Lives, when you say holiday, you say death.
Holiday death.
So someone's probably going to die at Christmas, someone's going to die at New Year's, someone's going to die on
That's so
Valentine's Day. Watch.
Funny.
Well, speaking of holiday, were we done with Eduardo? Speaking of holidays, hashtag bring Belle back, and she's back.
She's back. I know you started that. She's back. Our girl, Martha Madison.
There's finally some good news in Salem.
Yes, finally.
Well, although... I don't know.
It was lackluster.
I was just like, she just walked in like, hey. I was like, you've been sailing around the world for 4 years, and you just walk in like, hey, everybody.
Everybody doesn't walk in the room like me.
Oh, God.
Somehow it always goes back.
Yeah, it does. It does.
But my
A little soft shoe.
Because you sent me a text, you're like, you sent a message, you're like, it was kind of blah. I'm like, it was kind of blah, but it looked beautiful walking in.
Yeah.
I mean,
work Martha Madison.
She
Martha
did.
Madison looks stunning.
She looked great.
She looks great.
Yeah,
And the girl plays her daughter. I forgot her name. It looks beautiful.
Yeah,
looks like them. Looks like her.
Olivia something. There's
Keegan.
Olivia something. Isn't it 3 names?
Olivia Rose Keegan?
Olivia Rose Keegan.
And she's like, and who are you related to Chase? And Sierra's like, because this is my niece. She did say it. Her niece. Her niece.
Which is weird because
it was weird.
The same age.
That was weird.
But I loved when Sierra was like, and Claire was like, and who's this? To Chase. And Sierra was like, it's my stepbrother.
Yeah.
Stepbrother.
I like that.
Because a lot of people were commenting that they appreciated that.
Yeah, because it lets me know that Sierra's like, I don't blame you. Like, we're still friends.
Yeah.
I agree. Stepbrother.
I agree.
Now, do you think it's... I feel like they're heading in the direction to pair up Chase and Sierra. Is it odd that step siblings are going to be a couple?
No.
Okay. I was just posing
because the dad's not around. The marriage isn't.
Well, but what? Oh, so okay. Say Aiden comes back.
From where?
The death.
Not gonna happen.
The death.
They're doing a similar storyline in General Hospital right now, where these two people grew up as step siblings for years, and then they end up having a baby, and it was the whole thing. And now they're trying to get back. I said it could be fine.
I think there's going to be a triangle. Sierra,
I'm just curious
Theo,
how
and
often
Chase.
that happens in real life.
I'm sure it happens.
I don't like any of my step siblings.
Kansas.
I'm not attracted to any of my step siblings.
Oh, that sounds horrible. I didn't mean everyone.
I was going to say, now all the Kansas people are going to be like, can't say anything in this world.
Belle wastes no time by telling John and Marlena that it's over between her and Sean.
She walks in and like, hi, I'm getting a divorce.
Yeah.
And John goes,
yeah.
Well, they said they're not wasting time.
They're not wasting time.
And also, it's probably one of those things where Jason Cook's, is his contract is up, so they had to be like, okay, we're getting a divorce.
Can we talk about now why he was back?
It's like,
thank you. Moving on.
well, I got a little mini rant.
Well, okay. Well, I think it's because
sit up.
I don't know. Wait, did Brandon Beamer and Peter Reckle have scenes with each other?
I don't think so.
I don't think they did. I think
so
Jason Cook and Peter Reckle were more of the Sean D.
I think so too.
So they needed that. Yeah, for the flashback. Yeah, exactly.
Totally. Yeah.
So they needed that, and then it makes more sense when Philip comes in and just the pairing of. I think we believed Brandon Beamer and Martha Madison as Philip and Belle when they were a couple.
Yeah.
Kirsten Storms and Jason Cook were really good at it.
Yeah. So I think they were like, okay, Jason Cook, you can only be here for a little bit. Okay, we're gonna kill Bo, you cry, blah, 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 whatever. Bye. And then insert Brandon Beamer so that we can continue on with Belle and Sean and Philip.
Yeah.
But I have a problem with these kind of things. I'm like, you bring people on that are legacy people, legacy actors, that we know these actors, and you have a finite time with them. There has to be a better way to really utilize them, I guess. I feel like I'm shortchanged a lot of times recently with these characters. Like, I love Jason Cook actually as Peter Reckle, but the only people I like it are just kind of bringing them on for a second, and then they're rushing through it, and we have to just accept it and go, okay, next thing. I mean, it seems weird to me. I feel like there could be other ways that have done it, or not bring it back at all. I still stand by my statements about that. So
Emma said Brandon and Peter had nothing to flash back to.
Okay, so I just think it's just kind of weird.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think they're. I mean, from what it sounds like, they're.
Brandon and Peter did have scenes together. Apparently.
Did they have some?
Yeah.
Okay. I just can't remember. Anyway, and they're going to Justin Eve. Of course, they're getting closer, and I love them together. I just love.
I
them
really
together.
like Justin and Eve too. I think I tweeted out I find myself smiling every
Me too.
time they're on screen together.
And now that
really like
we
it.
know Cassie, of course, now that I got to interview Wally Kurth and talk to him, he's a super nice guy, I'm like, these two are long-time soap actors. Now we're seeing them together, and they have such chemistry. They're really good together.
It was really great, and it's always great to see them together. And the person who ruined Thanksgiving was Victor. And his mouth, and
he was
mouthy.
Yeah.
His
glad
mouth was a little spicy.
And he came at the end and basically said, "I ruined everything. I'm sorry. I apologize." Because Justin told him off like, "I'm a grown man."
Yeah. Well, okay. So,
there's some stuff he said, of course. That Victor said.
yeah. Well,
Hilarious.
it was just a moment. So yeah. But I like Justin and Eve. I want to see.
I do.
However much is going to happen. With
Everybody likes them. Everybody likes
them together.
They're really good together, and it's kind of nice to have people who are of a certain age, which is around my age or so, that actually can exude sexiness and tenderness, and who can act. They both can act.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good pairing. So I wish they could stay on forever. So hopefully we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I like them together.
I think we'll together too. So, do you miss anything?
No.
We got it.
The only thing I could think of was that there was a little moment there where there was discussion between Sierra and Chase about Meredith, the mother.
Oh yeah, the mom.
And they do talk about how he says
my mom was scared.
She killed herself, but maybe it was my dad, so he doesn't know that it was him. I think they're kind of maybe laying the tracks for maybe this kind of...
Because Meredith always said that there are things about your dad that you don't know about, and now he's starting to wonder if that's true or not.
Yeah.
Oh, and one last thing. Steve is turning down Hope's request to go on a run.
Yes.
He's like, no, he's like, why he didn't say no girl, but he's like, no girl, you don't want to do it. It's a bad idea. And she's like, you're not going to stop me.
Yeah.
So she's acting irrational. Like, that's what you would do.
Yeah.
So.
All right, and that has been your week of days, and it is now time for our favorite part of the show, our segments. And we are going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Now, there were a lot of things I could have gave snaps to.
Okay.
I could have gave the award to Robert Scott Wilson for just his wonderful portrayal of Ben.
He's good. He's been good.
I could have given it to the fact that I think I'm the only person that realized this, but that Boston Market catered the homeless meal, and how I knew that was when Rafe was holding one of the pieces of cornbread. I was like, that's from Boston Market.
Oh, that is hilarious. That is hilarious.
I think I'm the only person who realized that was from Boston Market.
Once, so I wouldn't.
Oh, that's so funny. No, I want to go back and look at it again.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Okay.
But I think I am going to give my 3 Snaps Award to Mark's favorite person.
Oh.
Not Billy Flynn.
Oh.
But to Victor for giving us that awkward Thanksgiving family moment when him and Justin were yelling at each other.
Yeah.
And things were being said.
Yes, they were.
So, I feel like Thanksgiving wouldn't be Thanksgiving without a good old family myth.
Yeah.
Awkward moment.
I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was bad.
Hilarious.
It's Victor.
When they were showing them in the room and they were arguing about it, was kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give a snap to all those involved. There's a snap that goes to Victor, a snap that goes to Justin, and a snap that goes to Eve. Because Eve walked in and was just like, hey, let me just
She's gonna paddle this.
let me just go back. Because even though I'm trying to move on, you're still hearing all this stuff behind me.
yes.
And it's one of those moments where it's just kind of like the family standing there like, he's talking about you, right?
Yes.
He's talking about you. No, you. Yeah, you. And that's when you realize you're like, okay, like I can't save face. So so those 3 people get Tony's official 3 Snaps
That's a good
Award.
one. She did kind of like slink out.
Yeah. She was like, why don't you stay here? I'll go. But if I were Eve, I would have packed the plate before I went, so that way I wouldn't be eating a turkey sandwich.
Yeah, hello, I want some to go, please.
Mm-hmm. All right, and now moving on to our segments, I'm going to pass it over to James for Look Who's Related.
I keep laughing every time I hear that. Yes, it's another time for Look Who's Related, and I'm going to mention a family that Mark doesn't like, so he's going to have to close his ears for a few minutes.
Who is this?
Because people were asking me, they're like, doesn't Maggie have some other kids, and what's going on? And so I'm here. I've been really listening to you guys out there, so I'm going to...
Oh, yeah.
The picture that we're going to show you...
I don't hate her.
Is that the picture we're going to...
one of her kids.
Okay, the picture we're going to show you is... So you're messing up my segment.
Sorry.
Is when she had a double wedding back with Mickey, and it was her daughter Melissa and Pete Jennings. And so there was a double wedding there. There's a whole storyline there. But then also in the inset is, and Tony did this lovely work, is Mark Hopka, who played Nathan Horton, which is Maggie's grandson. And I posted our interview with him on our Edition Days page yesterday, so you can see what's going on. But anyway, who are Maggie's children? First, Melissa. She was adopted with Mickey. Her birth mother is Linda Anderson. I forgot this part. She was in love with Jack Devereaux.
Yeah.
It was a big storyline. And when Jack raped Kayla, when they were married, she was the only person who stood by him. I remember that. Now when he started flooding back in, was the only person who stood by Jack during that whole thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And she's the mother of Nathan. So we got that. So, and of course, again, we had Nathan on, and he did the spotlight. A second child, Janice Barnes. She was a foster child with Mickey, and I remember her too, actually. Maggie became an alcoholic because of the custody battle with Janice's mother, birth mother. That started the whole alcoholism storyline. To this day, she's in recovery. It started with that daughter, Janice Barnes, and she's off somewhere. They don't know anything. And then, of course,
adopted though.
She was foster.
Foster, okay.
It's like a foster thing. And then the one that I remember the most was Sarah, because that's actually Maggie's bio child with Dr. Neil Curtis. I remember Neil Curtis was a big character
Is there a
on there.
picture of Sarah?
No, I couldn't find one of her. I couldn't find a good one of her. But Neil Curtis was a doctor on the show, and he helped people with fertility stuff. And Maggie had said, I'll do an artificial insemination for somebody. But it turned out he didn't tell her this. It was his sperm. And so we thought it was Evan Weiland's child for a while, and all stuff was going on, and he finally confessed at some point. So Sarah is her bio daughter with Dr. Neil Curtis. Then, of course, somehow we got Daniel. Remember when Alice died? They found a letter she wrote before she died and explained some experimental treatment years ago, and then Daniel. So Daniel, I guess, is the oldest, I guess, officially. I guess so. We go back. I guess he's officially the oldest child. He was the last one. And, of course, with Carly, he had your favorite, Melanie. And if you remember correctly, there are folks who thought Melanie and Nathan should get together. That was a whole thing there. They're not bio-related.
Melanie and who?
And Nathan. They're not bio-related, but they're kind of cousins of some sort. But anyway, because Melanie is the granddaughter. So those are people who are related to Maggie Kyriakis.
And there you have it.
Interesting.
We have James Lott Jr.'s Look Who's Related.
I love that. I love it.
And now we move on to another favorite segment. Over to Mark J Freeman with
Mark's Quote of the Week.
All right. So, like I said earlier, I was going to give it. I actually texted you guys earlier today, and I was like, "Oh, I think I might switch it to give it to Rob Wilson."
Yes.
But I had to stick to my guns and go with my original one. And Victor did have hands down and gave me plenty to choose from.
Oh, he had a lot. Yes.
I think everyone thinks they know which one I'm going to choose, but I don't think they know.
I know.
No, you don't know.
I know.
I am actually giving it to him for this line Justin says, I get that you're grieving, and Victor says, I can multitask.
I know, that was a good line. That was a good one.
I literally laughed out loud.
So I thought you would pick the other one with the BOYH.
Yeah, I thought everyone's going to think that's what it's going to be. But that one I was just like, oh, there's Victor. And then this one actually made me laugh out loud. True. I was like, okay, that's kind of freaking funny. So Victor, yet again, gets my quote of the week for, I can multitask.
He did say that.
And that was Mark's
Quote of the Week.
That's it.
I like that.
All right, so in just a few minutes, we are going to open the phone lines for you guys to call in and talk to us about your thoughts on what has happened on days thus far. And we're going to have our lovely engineer, Marissa. Hey, Marissa.
Oh, I think it's Mark.
Or did it switch over to Mark?
I think it's Mark.
It's actually Jonathan.
Oh,
well, hi, Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan.
Oh, they totally switch people on us.
They did.
So, Jonathan, if you don't mind, in our chat room, putting in the phone number so that people can call in. So that way I don't have to say it and people miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone said that. Yeah.
I say it
or
too
put
fast.
it on the bottom in the lower third.
So we'll do that, but first we want to talk about an email that
but we have to do fan of the week first.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
And you decided this week, which I agreed with 100%.
We agree.
Yes.
We agree with
Wait, should I present it then?
You want to present it?
Okay.
I have them written out if you the actual tweets.
Okay.
So if you want
I'm just going to give a little intro for it. So, as you guys know, Days of Our Lives got a new celebrity viewer this week who wasted no time tweeting and recapping what he was seeing as he was seeing it, all the way from the intergalactic galaxy of the stars unknown. Mr. William Shatner.
That's
right. Started watching Days, and yeah, his tweets about.
I'll read a couple of them.
Yeah.
His first one was, well, I watched some guy in a park, die in a park. Nobody called 911, and the woman who was with him pulled up the bushes. And then he wrote, watched NBC Days. Some couple in a cabin wanted so much privacy that they had a baby and then shot the nurse. And they say, I do sci-fi. And then he sent out some tweets specifically to my boy Billy Flynn. And he wrote, what about my new friend Billy Flynn? Surely he deserves one, referring to an Emmy.
He did say that.
And then he also tweeted Robert Scott Wilson, sorry. Oh look, it's Mr. Robert Scott, the nurse killer.
I tweeted William because I really wanted him to if he's going to continue watching Days, I want him to come in and recap it with us so that way we can catch him up, fill him in, and everything like that. And I actually tweeted him, and he tweeted me back, and he said, "What would I have to recap on after only watching two episodes? I've already done it."
Well, you just said, "Well, there are only 3 this week, so you can come
join us.
You saw 2 of the 3.
Yeah. So that is our fan of the week.
Yeah,
Mr. William Shatner.
We'll make sure we tweet that out, so maybe that'll spark him to come on in.
Yes. Exactly. So we have some calls calling in, and we'll take our first caller, and then we'll get to the email that we got earlier. So caller, welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dish and Days. You are on live. What's your name, and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Susie Morales Smidley, and I'm calling you from Georgia.
Hey, Susie.
Hey,
how are you?
Girl.
Hey, guys. Doing good, and y'all?
Doing wonderful. So, what's your comment, question, suggestion about our lovely soap opera Days of Our Lives?
Well, this week has been an upheaval for us fans. I really enjoyed the dead scenes of Bo, and not because he was dead, but I think that Peter Reckle did an outstanding job in portraying a dead man.
Yeah.
I think that he did excellently there. I was a little bit frustrated with, or I've been frustrated with the fact that if everybody has noticed, this is supposed to be a 1 or 2 day event, and this was started back in November the 10th.
Yeah.
And here we are in Thanksgiving, and then all of a sudden we go from a wedding to then Thanksgiving. Kind of frustrated with the writers because they're not giving us credibility as intelligent viewers.
Yeah.
So that has been really frustrating for me. But as an overall, I think that it has been a very, very interesting week as far as everything that has happened with like Abby and with Robert Scott Wilson. I think he deserves an Emmy nomination.
Yeah.
This guy he's been phenomenal. My favorite line was when he told her, "Wait your turn." That was amazing. But overall, it was a good week, considering that the weeks before I was a little bit frustrated with the whole, making us wait for some of the scenes to happen.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I agree with you with Robert Scott Wilson. I mean, if anyone's going to get an Emmy for going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, then it's him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Susie, thank you so much for calling in and sharing your thoughts with us. And thank you so much for your continued support. We know you, so thank you so much for always supporting us here at Dish and Days.
Always will. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And we have another caller. Hello, caller. You are on live on AfterBuzz TV's Dish and Days. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Anne-Marie, and I'm calling from Montreal, Canada.
Well, hello.
Wow, long distance.
Canada, eh? So, Anne-Marie, right?
Yeah.
What do you have a question, comment, suggestion? What are your thoughts
Fire
on
Mark.
What are your thoughts on Days?
It's more of a comment. I've been religiously watching for years now, and I've got to say, Rob Wilson's probably the best actor I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been fabulous.
Yeah.
Plays psychotic amazingly well.
Yeah. A little too well, Rob.
I've tweeted him and I've said, dust off the spot for the Emmy coming your way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, I truly believe that's coming. But I think what freaks me out is, who's next?
As far as
When he sees those babies' eyes, he's going to freak out.
Yeah.
He's going to lose it.
Because he looks like Chad?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And by the way, Mark, your Billy is also my Billy. So.
Thank you. We'll share.
Oh, are you willing to share?
There's enough ability to go around.
Oh, well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate that.
I would never hog him.
Yeah, he would.
Neither would I, believe me. But, no, I think that all three actors are doing a phenomenal job.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah, same here. It can go any direction. We really go any direction.
Yeah, we're all interested to see, too.
We don't know. Is he going to escape? Is he going to end up dead? Is he going to,
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. That's true. We don't know.
Well,
I think he's going to go far.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Go very far.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Anne-Marie, for calling in all the way from Canada. We appreciate you, and thank you so much for supporting us. And spread the word up there in Canada. Let them know that we do this lovely little show called Dishin' Days every 4 p.m., every Sunday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I will. You guys are really great. I watch you guys every week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Anne-Marie.
Thank you.
All right, we have another caller on the line. Hello, caller. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin' Days. You are on live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, guys. It's Carolyn Topol calling from Connecticut.
Why, hello, Carolyn Topol. Big shout out to Carolyn for recently releasing her book.
Yes, I saw that. Yes.
We have seen that, so a little shout out to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That was exciting. Yeah, it was my 10th, so I was pretty happy about that.
Very good. Very good.
Now, do you have a question, comment, suggestion? What are your thoughts on our lovely soap opera Days of Our Lives?
I have a little pet peeve, I guess.
Okay.
And that is that first of all, I love Peggy McKay as Caroline, and I have always loved her in that role. And I don't think Caroline would have made a toast to those not there and not included her great-grandson.
Will.
She took care of most of his life.
Yeah.
You're right. Oh, you're right. I give you that one.
true.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good
I really
catch.
thought that was a big miss.
Yeah.
Well, it seems as though they don't like
yeah. But you made a good point. Okay, I forgot about that.
I forgot about that too, because they were so fixated and concentrating on Bo and that vision that she had of Bo. What was there any reference to?
I don't mind the table thing, and for Bo, because Bo was her son, and that was her baby, and I got all that. That I understood, but not even to have even mentioned him in the toast about when people are gone.
Yeah,
that was kind of a big absence.
Yeah.
I agree with you now. That's good. That's good. I'm surprised we didn't catch it.
I didn't.
That's a good one.
I was getting pizza rolls.
Well, good catch, Carolyn. Thank you so much for that.
This is why I come to Dishin'
to hear
to find out what I missed while I was in the kitchen.
Well, Carolyn, as always, thank
Mark,
you.
You're great.
Thank you so much for calling in and always supporting us. And once again, congratulations on your 10th book.
Yeah.
Very excited for you. You're welcome.
That's so sweet of you to say.
I'm still trying to make it through Dr. Seuss, and then I'll try yours.
Bye, Carolyn.
Yeah.
Oh, and is this another caller? Oh, no.
No. Okay.
Oh, are we good? Okay, I think we're good. Oh, nope. We have another caller.
Okay.
Hello, caller. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin' Days. You are on live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Cheryl from South Carolina.
Hey, Cheryl.
So you weren't first.
You weren't first.
I know you're like.
No, we did it exactly opposite this week.
I love it.
Honestly, you know who I'm waiting for? Daquan.
I know
I'm
Daquan.
I'm waiting for
We
that
were talking about it
day.
in the car on the way here.
He's in there all the time,
I know.
saying how he's gonna call, but he never does.
I know.
He's scared of me.
I am waiting to hear this is Daquan. And I'm waiting for that
I
moment.
don't think
Daquan, I'm waiting for
Daquan
it.
exists.
Oh, no, really? Come on, Daquan.
What'd he say?
He does.
He's writing right now.
in there now.
He's writing now.
Cheryl, what are your thoughts on Days?
Well, actually, as I was ringing in, Carolyn really hit on what I was calling to complain about.
Oh, okay.
And that is that it was Thanksgiving, and it was the first Thanksgiving without Will, and not one person mentioned Will, including Gabby, or race. Or, I mean, Marlena did in a very brief and fleeting moment.
Oh, she did. Yeah, she did. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah, she did.
But, but his...
When she was dressed as a
grandmother, his aunts, his uncles, nobody, his grandfather, for God's sake, didn't mention him.
Yeah.
And nobody...
as they were sitting around with an empty chair for Bo, everybody forgot that Will died a week and a half ago.
Right.
This is true.
And also, Sarah, my thing, I just thought, nobody mentioned Kimberly's name. They're true. Chelsea's with Billy. They mentioned that. But what about Kimberly? That's his sister.
Oh, that's right.
No one's mentioned her at all.
Yeah.
Is Kimberly coming in for the funeral?
Who else should have been at dinner? Teresa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Teresa is gallivanting around.
I just think they can't afford to pay everybody to be on set in one day. I'll stick up for them on that.
Busy releasing her album.
That's true. She is a little...
Oh, okay. That could be it.
She's a busy bee.
Yeah.
But Tony knows. He was with her. You were with her.
Well, I feel like I'm just going to say this, and I'm not excusing anything not being said by any means. But I feel like no matter what, there's always going to be somebody that we're going to be like, oh, they forgot to mention. But how many times people give Oscar speeches and they forget to thank their...
It was awful recent for them to...
No, I agree. No, again, I'm not putting it down, especially the Will situation. But like, I just, there's always somebody that's going to get left out.
I mean,
I'm referring more to Kimberly or something like that.
When Jen can tell Hope, I know how you feel. I remember how I felt when Jack died.
Yeah.
But we can't remember that Will died a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
You're right. It's true.
That's very true.
No, I agree.
And I mean, which time did she feel like that when Jack died? Which one of them?
All of them.
The last time, Cheryl. The last one, the elevator.
Well, it's not the last because he's coming back.
I still get a kick out of her donating his organs, and poof, he comes back.
I know.
And lands in her cake.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the things that Dave.
Well, maybe it'll be someone will come back with his heart, and they'll fall in love with Jennifer.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Don't go there with.
Don't go there. I love it.
All right, Cheryl. Thank you so much for calling in as always and
guys,
supporting us.
Mark, you look great in that red sweater today.
Oh, thank you. I thought I was getting dressed and I was looking for something else, and I reached and it was like in the back. My closet kind of has a little side, and I saw it and I was like, "What is that red thing?" I was like, "Oh, I don't think I've worn that in like a year and a half." Dust that sucker off. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. We have time for We have time for one more call.
Will it be Daquan?
Let's see.
He says in the chat room he's not afraid of me.
One way.
I saw that. There was someone. Oh, there we go. Our last caller. Hello. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin' Days. You are on live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Looks like they dropped out.
It was Daquan. He's scared.
All right, so then...
Well, I think this might be a perfect time to talk about the email.
It is.
Go
ahead.
And I have them right here.
We're not going to read them.
We can read them all. We start from the beginning. Just kidding.
We got an email sent to AfterBuzz regarding
the recent story of the recent gay storylines
of Will and their handling of it, and this particular person's upset with how it's been handled, along with a lot of other people. It's not just this person; it's just the one person that reached out to us and expressed his disdain, I guess, with NBC and Days and how they handled everything. I think he thinks we should be a little bit more vocal about the handling of everything. We have been, and he did acknowledge that in the email as well, that we have talked about it and we've had our rants about it. And I, stand firm by everything that I've said about it and the storyline. But we also have a job to do, so we're here to do that job. If I stop watching Days, then I stop hosting at AfterBuzz.
Right.
I don't want to stop hosting at AfterBuzz. If we're here and we're talking about the situation and what's happening, at least it's getting talked about, regardless of how it's been handled and everything. We can still talk about it, which is why we have the chat room, which is why we ask you guys to tweet us and comment below on our videos and stuff. And we do try to read as much of that and share as much of that and ask. That's why we have you guys call in and everything. So, it sounds like this person does not watch Days anymore, nor do they watch us anymore.
Yeah. Right.
Which is obviously his prerogative. But I was just going to say a lot of his comments I agree. There was some stuff I was like, okay, that was a good point. That's a good point. Some stuff I'm like, there's a certain point where I feel like you just kind of have to just be like, okay, like, not that it's okay. I don't think some of it was as intentional as he's making it sound. For example, there was something about that Will just kind of didn't fight back. You know, when he was attacked by, you know, they made him look weak. In defense of Days of Our Lives, one little arm movement and Chad went flying to the floor with Marlena and couldn't get up to chase somebody. So I'm just saying, I don't think it was intentional for them to be like, you know, we're gonna make him look like the sissy that he is, and I do agree. We talked about it on the show. I don't understand why Sonny was not in the front row of that funeral. I don't understand why his parents were not at the funeral. The other thing I didn't really notice that was mentioned that I was like, okay, that was kind of a good point, was the photo was just of Will and Ari at the funeral. That Sonny was not in the photo. I mean, again, I feel like, I mean, I'll just repeat myself what I said the last time, and that's that I think we all have these expectations and hopes that these producers and people that are in charge are going to ignore the money and just be a voice of change, which is what I said before. I don't know if that is, you know, I don't know what goes on in their meetings. You know what I mean? I just feel like that. I mean, it's his prerogative to not watch it, to not like it, to tweet about it. It's a free country, you know. Tweet about it, talk about it, write a blog about it. I think that's how the word's going to get out. But I stand by everything that I've said. I feel like I've stuck up for it as, you know, every chance I get, I can, and I do. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but that's kind of my opinion.
James?
My approach to this thing was, I come from like a life coaching background, so I kind of look at it like, wow, they're looking at us as voices. This was actually a wake-up call for me as a host of a show where something goes down that is almost a representation of maybe who I am in real life or who we are in real life, that they're looking to us as an answer or as a voice, because they're looking at us as a bigger voice. Because obviously we're the ones on TV doing this. They're out there, they're viewers. And so they're looking to us as to maybe be a solution. And so it was a big wake-up call for me for that. And I thought, I give him props for writing this detailed letter, and he had examples, and I appreciate that he came to us thinking that we maybe can affect change on some level.
If I could affect change, Jack would be back.
If I could affect change, Maxine's son would have been on the show by now.
If he could affect change, Christian Alfonso would be replacing me on AfterBuzz.
Weekly. Every week I'm like, you go over there. But no, I just want to say to him, because he knows who he is, of course, that we do appreciate it. It didn't go unnoticed. We know we got it, we read it, we appreciate it, and many of the concerns you have, we have too. I'm a person who personally, I pick my battles, and I choose what I feel is. I choose to protest certain things, not other things. There's just one I'm not going to protest. Like I said, I will continually every week voice my opinion on it if it keeps coming up and things come up. But I think we should still watch the show, still support the show, and still ask them in little ways every week while we're on here to add back more gay storylines, to kind of challenge them in that way, still continually try to get them, you know, in our own way.
Well, and I feel like if you're, you know, like I was saying, you know, keep talking about it, keep tweeting about it, keep demanding that you want it back. And hopefully they're actually going to read these and go, you know what, we really messed up. You know?
Because every once in a while, it happened on General Hospital. There was a character who was on for like 13 years. They wrote her out. The fans were so outraged. They kept doing, she's back on the show. And front burner storyline. Years ago, Marlene and her twin sister. It's like, I feel like you should just continue being vocal. Get out there, send them snail mail. Do whatever you want to do. But not watching and just turning it off completely doesn't really solve anything either.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of what James is saying and to kind of wrap things up so that we can get through the rest of our stuff, you guys do have a voice. You know, simply turning off your TV and saying you'll never watch Days again is not the answer or solution. If you have any issue with what you're seeing, you know, be vocal about it, because we have seen many a times where Days does listen to their fans. And I think, I don't know the executive team personally. I don't sit in their meetings like Mark mentioned, but
I thought you were gonna say like Mark does. I was like, I don't sit in the meetings.
But I do think that they do things and then they do sit and wonder what the fans are going to think and how the fans are going to react. So whatever you're having an issue with, voice it. Because you never know what could happen. Simply turning off the TV doesn't solve anything.
Ignoring it isn't solving it.
So, for those of you who, and I've seen so many people say and do this, that, I'm not watching Days anymore because of this. Don't do that. Don't simply stop watching something that you love because of one thing. Take a day or two, come back. We'll recap it for you. It's fine.
Right, yeah. Right.
But don't give up on it. If you don't like something, say something.
I agree. Say something.
Yeah. So
I mean nowadays social media
it's a very powerful tool.
Very powerful thing. So all the energy that you're using to put it down and use that to put a message out there, to get the word out, to contact people, to reach out to people, and be the voice of change.
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah. Okay. So be vocal. Don't give up on the show, and also
don't give up on audition.
I know. Yeah, don't give up on us either.
And just a little something extra. Like I know people are ranting about Guy Wilson as Will, and now they're griping about Vivian as Sierra. Mm-hmm. We all have our favorites. We all have our favorite characters. But I think you just have to learn how to appreciate whatever it is that particular actor is now bringing to the character. Yeah. There's only been one person, and I have said who she was, that I thought was absolutely horrible, and that was the Belle. Before the one that was there for 2 days in between Kristen Storms and Martha Madison. Yeah. I think that's the only one I've ever been vocal about. But everyone else I've welcomed with open arms and just allowed them to do that. So
not really.
And also just remember, these actors are people too, and they see what you're saying, and it's, as an actor myself, it hurts you when fans don't appreciate what it is that you're doing, especially stepping into soap shoes. Like that's a huge thing. So just learn to just appreciate what it is that they're bringing, and just hope that they'll eventually win you over. Yeah.
True.
So there's that. All right. So moving on to some news and gossip.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because we only have a few minutes.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, our favorite little busy bee, Miss Jen Lily, has just released her Christmas album, Tinseltown. And make sure you guys get your signed copy today. You can go to www.jenlily.com to order your copy. The first 1,000 fans who get their copy will also receive not only a signed CD, but will also receive a personalized Christmas card along with their order.
She's gonna have writer's cramp.
Well, trust me, I went over to Jen Lily's this weekend to help her fill orders, and shout out to, I recognize some people, like some of our fans.
Oh, how fun.
So I was looking at the names and I was like, I know them. So yeah, she's really filling out these wonderful Christmas cards, and she's stuffing them herself and everything. So so support her. It's a wonderful album, and before we move on, let's give you a little tidbit of the song from the album Tinseltown called Tinseltown, along with her music video. Tinsel time.
Tinsel time is here again. So put up your Christmas tree. Fill up the house with love and good cheer. We're waiting on your company. Serve up the eggnog now. Oh, light up the Yule log too. Let's get together and snuggle and sing, caroling until we're blue.
All right, so
looks like someone's trying to gun her down.
I can't believe this whole time I've been calling Tinseltown, and it's Tinsel Time. I should have known that. Jen Lily is going to like tweet me and say, "How dare you get it wrong?"
Kill you.
Tinsel Time. Tinsel Time is here.
Christopher Sean.
Right. So make sure you guys go get your copy. Make sure you watch the video online, and that is that. Support Jen Lily.
We love Jen Lily.
Tinsel Time. Tinsel Time. Tinsel Time.
Tinsel Time.
Tinsel Time. Tinsel Time.
That's right.
I don't know why I kept saying Tinseltown. Oh, and the video has footage of her and her sibling from her actual Christmases when she was young.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Also, a shot of her ice skating in Santa Monica, and also some clips of her new Lifetime movie that's coming out in December. So,
check it out, kids.
Take a look at all that.
Busy girl.
Yes, busy girl.
But hopefully she'll have time for AfterBuzz soon.
That's
of course. Yes, she says she really wants to come back, so we are going to make that happen.
Did. She actually, when we walked into Day of Days, it was literally the first thing she yelled when she saw us. Oh my God, I was just thinking, I'm coming back to Edition Days. I'm like, okay. No one accused you of anything.
So make sure you order Tinsel Time at jenlily.com. Tinsel Time. Not town, but time. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. It happens.
She doesn't love her.
Moving on, special congratulations to Nadia Bjorlin, who plays Chloe Lane. She just announced that she is expecting a baby boy in May of 2016 with her new hubby, who I believe his name is Grant.
I forgot, Hopefully it'll be May 10th. The same day as me.
She Instagrammed a cute little picture saying that her family was growing, and it had a pair of high heels, a pair of boots, and two new little feet that was super cute. So if you aren't following her on Instagram, go to her Instagram to find that. But congratulations to Nadia and her husband on their newest arrival.
I believe she's the real Nadia B. I believe that's her.
I think so.
Yeah, that's what
yeah.
And it's gonna be a beautiful baby. Trust and believe. Yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful baby.
Heartbreaker.
Exactly.
And of course, our very own Mark J Freeman has some news that he's been ranting and raving about that we can't hold on to because someday somebody's going to make you want to turn around and say goodbye. But until then, are we going to make you hold it? What?
Hold on for one more day.
Yes.
Because tomorrow's the day that I will be interviewing Carney Wilson from Wilson Phillips at noon tomorrow here in the AfterBuzz Studios for a Spotlight On interview. So, and I got a Wilson Phillips Christmas CD today, so I'm going to have her sign it, and hopefully we'll be able to give that away during the show as well. So I'm excited to
What time? So tomorrow at noon?
Tomorrow at noon Pacific Standard Time.
Yes.
So that's 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock Eastern
Standard Time. And I don't know what that is Central, because Central confuses me. And Mountain Time, I don't know what that is.
Exciting.
But yeah, so I'm excited. It's going to be
Mark and Carney Wilson together. Come on.
I think we're going to have to do a spin-off like Mark and Carney show.
There you go.
She can get back into television and take me with her.
Take me with her.
She can give me her dieting tips.
Oh boy. Yeah, give me those too. And really quick, for a half a second, let's go into predictions.
A half a second?
Yeah, because it's already.
Now,
we got to get ready.
AfterBuzz TV.
Any predictions? I mean, we saw in the preview that Chad finally arrives at the cabin, and Ben is going to set the bed on fire.
Yes.
So, any other predictions as to what may
I just
happen?
feel like everything we saw in that thing is really happening so fast.
Yeah.
Well, I said the video that we saw Day of Days literally happened that week.
Yeah.
Except for like two
and
things.
And this too.
Yes.
I mean, the Martha saying we're going to, Belle saying we're going to. So I think that my prediction will be the person she's cheating with will come back to town, follow her to town. Person that Belle, I guess, cheated with. You know, there's some kind of thing like, he's, that she cheated on him or something. So I have a feeling that person's going to come to town to be somebody we know. I just don't know who it is yet.
Huh?
That Belle cheated on Sam Douglas with somebody we know, and they're going to come to town.
Oh, we already know who she cheated with.
Oh, who?
It's going to be Philip.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Oh, I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who else would it be?
Oh, somebody. I don't know. I'm like, that's a good one. Okay,
I think it's Philip.
Okay.
Why else would he
Or it's going to be somebody else, and Phillips, because Sean Douglas leaves her, Philip will be there to kind of console her.
Okay. Well,
something along those lines. I mean, obviously, Philip's coming back for a reason.
Yes.
So, I don't know if I have any predictions per se. I feel like I said something earlier that was a prediction, but I think I'm going to go with no predictions as of right now.
Okay. Well, that has been our wonderful episode of AfterBuzz TV's Dishing Days, giving you a full recap of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives. Before we head out, though, hey, Mark, where can they find you?
You can find me on all social media at loungingwithtony.com.
Tried it.
And you can find me at Lorraine Love on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you.
And on Facebook, you can find me. The Mark J Freeman. And I also made a note for myself. It says, don't cut Tony off when he's signing out so he has stuff for his reel.
Oh, yeah, because every time you always cut me off.
He always does.
Emma wants my headshot. or it's always. I'm like,
you did write that down. Oh, that's
so I'm going to zip. Okay. Lorraine Love, LORAYDLOV, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, The Mark J Freeman. Tomorrow, noon, Carney, 2 o'clock Pacific, Central.
Black Hope LA on Twitter, James Lott Jr. on Facebook, L Black Hope on Instagram, and then stay tuned next for General Hospital GH Report.
And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms on my website, Lounging with Tony, or oh my god, I totally messed up my title.
Oh my god! Okay,
pause, reset. Okay. And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com. We'll see you next Sunday.
Can I talk?
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.